Not all criminals rely on brute force and weapons to rob banks. Some use their intelligence and highly sophisticated strategies, making their stories fascinating and unforgettable. This is the story of Albert Spaggiari, a mastermind thief who carried out the biggest heist in France without firing a single shot. This historic robbery took place at Société Générale Bank in Nice in 1976. It left French authorities puzzled, as they spent years tracking down the man behind it. But how did Albert Spaggiari manage to rob the bank so discreetly? And how did he escape from prison while under police custody? This story is filled with extraordinary tactics, meticulous planning, and an unbelievable escape. Part 1. The Heist Plan. Albert Spaggiari was a cunning criminal who spent years plotting an unprecedented bank robbery. He realized that the only way to succeed without weapons or violence was to dig a tunnel leading directly beneath the Société Générale Bank in Nice. To avoid suspicion, he rented a small building near the bank and pretended to be a businessman, conducting underground research. As part of his plan, he recruited a team of highly skilled criminals who carefully worked on digging an 8-meter-long tunnel leading straight into the bank's vault. The excavation took several months, with the gang spending days underground, ensuring that no one noticed any suspicious activity. Since no similar heist had ever been attempted before, authorities had no reason to suspect such a plan. If there had been a previous case like this, security forces would have been more alert. To avoid detection, they used silent and modern tools and took extreme precautions to remain unnoticed. Now that you understand the basics of the plan, let's move on to how the actual heist happened. But don't think robbing a bank is easy. This story is far from over. Stay with me, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling content. The day of the heist. After months of careful planning, the moment of truth arrived. On a dark night, Spaggiari and his team descended into the tunnel they had worked so hard to dig. They emerged inside the bank, exactly where they had intended to be. But this wasn't just any part of the bank. They had entered the vault, where vast amounts of money, gold, diamonds, and other valuables were stored. At the time, security technology wasn't as advanced as today. No motion detectors, laser sensors, or high-resolution cameras. Unlike modern banks with sophisticated alarms that activate instantly, security in the 1970s was relatively weak. The gang broke into hundreds of safe deposit boxes instead of just stealing cash. Their plan was well thought out. They weren't after just money. They carefully selected and took only the most valuable items. The total stolen was worth 30 million francs, a massive sum at the time. Before leaving, the thieves left behind a chilling message on the vault's wall. "Don't be afraid. We only wanted money." But now, the big question remained. How would they escape? Albert Spaggiari's escape. French police immediately realized that the heist had been executed with extreme precision. The robbers had left no trace behind, and by the time the authorities arrived, the gang had already disappeared. However, police investigations eventually uncovered a crucial lead. Albert Spaggiari himself, since he had rented the building directly above the tunnel. Suspicion quickly fell on him. Even though Spaggiari had planned the heist brilliantly, he had overlooked one small detail that led to his arrest. Finally, in 1977, Spaggiari was captured in Nice, the same city where the robbery had taken place. He was taken to court, where he was to be tried for his crimes. But the story did not end there. During his court hearing, in a shocking moment, Spaggiari suddenly jumped out of a window that was several meters high. As he fell, his accomplice was waiting outside on a motorcycle, ready for a quick getaway. According to reports, before escaping, Spaggiari looked at his friend and said, "As long as you keep smiling, anything is possible." Then, they sped off on the motorcycle, disappearing from the scene. How did he plan his escape? Spaggiari's daring escape wasn't just luck, it was part of a well-planned strategy. Before his trial, he had bribed prison guards and officials, ensuring that he would have a chance to flee. His friend had been waiting outside at the exact right moment with the motorcycle, knowing the escape plan in advance. At that time, law enforcement wasn't as sophisticated as today, and even intelligence agencies could be bribed. This made it easier for criminals to execute complex escape plans without immediate consequences. What happened next? For months, French police launched an extensive manhunt for Spaggiari, but he was never caught again. He managed to hide in Italy and other parts of Europe, living in secrecy. Eventually, in 1989, he died of natural causes, taking the full truth of his escape to the grave. The unanswered mystery: what happened to the stolen money? Despite decades of investigation, no one knows what happened to the stolen fortune. Some believe parts of it are still hidden somewhere in the world, making this heist one of the most intriguing in history. Final thoughts. Albert Spaggiari's story remains one of the greatest heist tales ever told. He proved that a mastermind criminal doesn't always need weapons. Sometimes, pure strategy and intelligence are enough. But now, I have a question for you. Was Spaggiari a genius criminal, or just a thief who got lucky? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with others.